Landlords, are you compliant with the minimum energy efficiency standards? Does your property have an EPC rating of E or above? Are you aware that there are potential changes which will affect the minimum rating? Be sure to stick around to the very end of this video, as I will be sharing a free gift to help you with your property compliance. The minimum energy efficiency standards were introduced in 2018 to improve the energy efficiency of properties. As part of the government's effort to combat climate change, any property you own and rent out currently must have an EPC rating of E or higher. If your property falls below an E rating and you do not have an exemption, you're renting it out illegally and you could face fines and penalties. Landlords are expected to spend up to around $3,500 to bring their properties up to an E rating. If your property doesn't meet this requirement, I strongly encourage you to check whether it qualifies for an exemption, which you can find on the government's website. Now, looking ahead, it's important to prepare for potential changes. There's increasing talk within the industry that by 2028, the minimum EPC rating requirement could be raised to a C for new rental properties and current rental properties. This change would significantly impact many landlords, as there may be a huge cost involved to be able to do this, but there are various funding opportunities currently available to help both landlords and tenants improve their property's energy efficiency. I would suggest looking at gradually doing works now to improve the EPC rating, as this is highly likely to come into force. So waiting could cause you to spend a large chunk in one go to be able to meet the regulations, or not being able to legally rent your property out if you cannot afford to make the changes within a smaller time frame. Don't forget, providing your tenant with a valid EPC before the start of tenancy is mandatory under the Deregulation Act of 2015. Failing to do so could restrict your ability to serve a valid notice for possession of the property if needed. While it may seem like a minor detail, compliance with this legislation is crucial. The penalties for non-compliance can be severe, with fines reaching up to £150,000 depending on how long the property was rented out without the required EPC. Remember, EPCs are valid for 10 years and typically cost less than £100. That's just £10 per year to ensure your property is compliant with the minimum energy efficiency standard regulations. If you're unsure where to start, EPC assessors can be easily found online to help you stay compliant. Plus, there's funding available right now for energy efficiency improvements, so make sure you're taking advantage of any local resources. There are over 170 pieces of legislation that landlords must comply with. If you found this information helpful, please give the video a like and consider subscribing to our channel for more updates on compliance and legislation in the private rented sector. As a thank you for sticking till the very end of this video, I would like to invite you to our next free landlord webinar, where we cover various pieces of legislation in the private rented sector in more detail. You can register for the next session by clicking the link in the description. I hope to see you there.